So before we break, we have a quick 5-minute surprise for everybody and a special guest. So Mika Brzezinski, host of Morning Joe on MSNBC, has been in Lake Nona for the past 24 hours on special assignment. And when she heard about the Impact Forum and all of us that are here today, we invited her to stop by just to provide a few reflections on what she observed over her day here and, a little bit of comments on health and wellness. So if you could help me welcome Mika Brzezinski.
Hi there, thank you so much. Do we have any, this is always a frightening question, any Morning Joe viewers out there? Has anyone ever said, oh, thank God, okay. I did that once in Dallas. There were 2,000 people and nobody raised their hand. Not one person, and then I proceeded to sweat. But then I learned, you know what, it's good to know your audience. So you know what the show is about. We talk for 3 hours a day, pretty unscripted. But we have a lot of other stuff going on, which I want to give you a sneak preview on in just a moment. It's such an honor to be here. I truly appreciate the opportunity. This is an amazing community that is being built here. It's really a living laboratory for studying and advancing health and wellness. Obviously, just look at the program, look around you. What you've been seeing and what you'll see throughout the day tomorrow is an impressive group of leaders who have come together here to talk about changing the world. Wellness is a huge passion of mine. I think it's intrinsic in our inner confidence. I wrote a book about food and nutrition and the American diet and the perils of it called Obsessed a few years ago, and dove into one part of the issue just to get a sense of how big it is. And last night I did an interview for Morning Joe and for MSNBC.com and for the Know Your Value Initiative with Alex Gorski of Johnson & Johnson. And we talked about the concept of purpose and how it needs to guide how we live our lives and lead our organizations. And then I spent the day today here, most of this morning, at the Human Performance Institute, HPI. Has anyone here been there? You guys have gotten a taste, right? It's amazing. And I knew it was. I'd read about it. I'd been talking a lot to J&J executives about how they do it, why they do it. 64,000 of their employees have been through a version of the program, which is really getting behind a philosophy and a concept and putting your money where your mouth is. That is a huge initiative, but it will pay off in the long run on so many levels, and that's obvious when you go into the walls of HPI and you see exactly how they get to the root cause of living a mindful, purpose-driven life and making the most of your energy. And part of what I find fascinating about HPI and what I want to sort of show the world is that it's not just about leading a purposeful, energetic life and managing that energy, but I think a more confident life. And that's especially important for women. I think in some ways we struggle with that. And I would like to, I was going to make this announcement on the air tomorrow, but I'll give you a sneak preview of what I'm up to today. We're going to be announcing tomorrow on Morning Joe as part of the Know Your Value Tour, which is a set of multimedia women's events across the country. We're going to 5 cities to start. We're going to be announcing the bonus competition. It's something that I tried in Hartford, Connecticut, in a small conference that I did myself. And I thought about 6 weeks before the conference, these are great conversations, we've got great speakers, we've got great workshops, but how do we really drive the message home that women need to be as good an advocate for themselves as they are for their bosses, for their husbands, for their kids? How fierce are we when we're doing it for someone else? And how unbelievably cumbersome and voiceless do we become sometimes when we're advocating for ourselves? And money, for some reason, is like the worst. We're the worst at that. It's like it feels untoward for us to be advocating for financial gain for ourselves, for a bonus, for example. And that is actually a metaphor for every relationship, because if you can't get value out of a professional relationship and you can't communicate that for yourself, actually every relationship needs to give you value back to keep that purpose in line. And so we got this going in Hartford, and I thought it was going to be kind of kitschy. It was amazing. We got people to send in iPhone videos. Give me a minute. Why you deserve a bonus. You're a stay-at-home mom. Why do you have value? You're a dental hygienist. Why do you have value? What is it that you bring to the table? Speak effectively. Have confidence. Tell me why you deserve a bonus. We got all these great videos, and we pared it down to 5 finalists. They worked with communications experts and then got on stage, and they made their pitch. The winner was a woman in her 50s who was fired from Wall Street and had started a secondhand store for children's clothing in her local town of Madison, Connecticut, and it really become like the hub for moms in the town, and she wanted to start a website. She made this incredible pitch, and she had like a tube here. I'm like, what's that tube? She's like, I had heart surgery 48 hours ago, but I had to be here. I practice on the stretcher, and the runner-up was this 28-year-old single mom who for some reason wanted to go to Bay Path College, of all colleges, that's in the Hartford area, and she wanted to be the first woman in her family to finish her education through college. And she made that a part of her pitch, and I just knew I'd hire her someday, so I went with the fired woman from Wall Street, and she won, and the flowers were being handed out, and she got a check for $10,000. Everyone else got $2,000 because your time is money. The whole issue, the message of value was driven into this prize. And this woman in the audience starts poking me and says, give me the microphone. And she was, she was a mature woman. I'm like, okay, here, take it. Are you all right? And she grabs the microphone. She goes, I'm the president of Bay Path College. And that runner-up, you young lady, you've got promise. Come see me on Monday. We're going to give you a full ride. And I have to tell you, what seemed like kind of a weird concept that I came up with while running one day drove the most important message home to all of these women, which is if you don't put yourself out there, you don't know what could happen. So NBC took a look at the tape, and we have gone into partnership with Johnson & Johnson as the presenting sponsor of the Know Your Value National Tour. We're going to 5 cities, and we're going to take this bonus competition to all 5 cities. There'll be 3 finalists in each city, and each finalist is going to go to HPI and work on herself from the inside out and take this to a whole new level. And I just met this morning with the coaches at HPI. Oh my God, this is going to be so good. I'm telling you right now, we need to pitch a talk show. We need to get all the rights to this because it's going to be amazing. I mean, we got to own this thing. I knew that the message was important, and I knew that the message was deeper than just getting some skills quickly, tips, and getting up on stage, that it really is inside. And we found now the place that really picks apart every part of who you are, gives you feedback, and then rebuilds you in your best self. And that's the Human Performance Institute. So I'm proud to announce the bonus competition, the Know Your Value Tour, and the partnership with J&J and the Human Performance Institute, which is going to be announced tomorrow on Morning Joe. You'll see Alex on tape and some of the coaches we chose just in the past hour and quickly got them to do stuff on camera, and they were incredible. I'm telling you, when I was starting out in TV, I could have never just gotten in front of the camera like these women, but they believed their message so deeply that they were just great, and you clicked right into them. So I appreciate the opportunity to tell this very late-breaking story right now. We have a website. It's msnbc.com/knowyourvalue, so follow along for the ride, and thank you for having me today.